Hi everybody. Today is Sunday, March 18th, 2018. It is a beautiful, bright, sunny, blue sky spring day here in Illinois. It's about 56 degrees. We have been waiting for days like this. I know I myself feel more productive and energized when the sun is shining as opposed to gloomy, dreary, rainy, snowy days. So, yeah, I am feeling energized today. We recently did a poll on our Facebook group page, Thrifty Adventures, asking our members where they need some help in being more productive, what's keeping them back a bit in being productive with eBay, and the number one response was time management. While I am not an expert in this field at all, heaven knows I can probably use some good pointers myself. I've put together a bit of information. I do have cheat sheets, um, just to keep me on track here, but I put together some information of things that I do and that I have heard suggested to help keep you on track, to help keep you motivated, to help keep you listing and working, and in the end result, the more you list, the more you sell. So let's get started. Um, whether you want to do eBay as a fun hobby type selling for extra money for buying items, going on vacation, what have you. If you currently have it as a part-time job, or if you are a full-time seller, such as myself, I've been full-time on eBay since 2002. Um, we kind of all need the same type of motivation, the same types of things to keep us on track, to keep us working. We all need to be productive, bottom line. You do need to have self initiative. When you're working a regular, normal 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 job, whatever it may be, you have somebody to answer to on why you are not being productive that day. Guess what? You need to answer to yourself. You need to give yourself that extra push, even on days when you don't feel like doing anything. Give yourself that little extra push to do one thing to work your eBay business, whether it be listing, whether it be sourcing. Yes, I'm saying sourcing. I'm saying go out and shop on days you feel, you know, I know our winter days when it was gloomy and dreary and I felt like doing nothing. Guess what I did? I went out to the thrift store and it kind of got me energized to come home and list items. Um, setting goals. Setting goals can be really helpful, whether you set a daily goal, a weekly goal, a monthly goal, or even a goal for the year. I know I have set a goal for the year to increase my sales by at least 50% of what they were last year. I'd sure like to double them. I think anybody would like to double them, but I set it low so that if I don't double it, I'm not going to beat myself up. But I truly believe I can increase my sales this year by at least 50%. So that is my long-term goal. Maybe your long-term goal is to quit your traditional job and work eBay full-time. It is definitely an attainable goal, but it does involve work. So let's talk about, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought here. We did goals. Um, Goals can be listing goals. They can be sourcing goals. They can be sorting goals. Maybe you have things like I do in bins and bags that have not been listed yet. I have set a goal to go through at least one box a day. In addition to my new merchandise that I've come home with and I'm all excited. I was excited over this death pile at one time too. So I am forcing myself to list something out of my garage in addition to the new items that are just so bright and shiny, and well, you know the story on that. Um, yeah, they can be sorting goals, they can be organizing goals. Pick one bin or one box and organize it. Pick a shelf that you have your inventory listed on and organize it. You can do inventory. Pick a box or a shelf a day and make sure these items in these boxes have been listed. Make sure they are still showing up on eBay. I have fallen victim and have other sellers to eBay's black hole, which they will never admit exists, but indeed listings do disappear someplace into another galaxy far, far away. So yeah, and when I go through these things, I will say, hey, I know this was listed. It's not there anymore. And guess what? If I redo a listing for it, miraculously that item suddenly sells. I just had that happen with a bunch of stuffed animals. Stuff I knew I had listed months ago, probably years ago, were not there. Took the time to check them all on my eBay inventory, relisted them, and guess what? Probably about half of them have sold already. Another way of doing that is to choose a store category that you already have listed. Say coffee mugs, for instance. Pull up all your coffee mug inventory. I print it out and I take that list over to my listed mugs. Now, my coffee mugs, I have a numbering system on, so it's kind of easy for me. But I will make sure all my mugs that are on my eBay, on my list that I printed off of eBay, are still in my inventory. Because things can happen there too, where something may disappear. Maybe something got broken. You forgot to take it off of your inventory. But yeah, that's an important part of doing your business too. And you can set a goal. I'm going to list 5 items today. I am going to inventory 1 shelf of eBay stuff that I have listed already. But you do need to work it every day. Most importantly, I will stress, list at least 1 new item every day. If you can't sit down and list every day, on a day that you do have time to do some extra listings, maybe draft up 10 listings, keep them in drafts, and then for days that you cannot sit down and list, guess what? All you have to do is go to your drafts and upload 1 or 2. You've got your listing for that day, for the next day. If anybody saw a what shipping video I just did a couple of weeks ago, I had a doctor's appointment on Monday. It was an extended visit. My eyes get dilated. My eyes are very sensitive to the drops they use. And my dilated eyes last from my appointment was at 9 a.m. They did not clear up until like about 8 p.m. So I knew that was going to happen. So I got my shipping done on Sunday night. And I actually got a bunch of items into drafts on Sunday. They were ready to go on Monday, so all I had to do was see well enough to upload those drafts. So I still got my listings done for that Monday. So anything you can plan to do ahead helps. I know Laura, our co-admin in Thrifty Adventures, is a stay-at-home mom of 2 little ones. In addition to running a full-time eBay business, she does a lot of her stuff in drafts. Laura also utilizes mobile listings. Me, maybe because I'm from an older generation, mobile listings are just not for me. I find they slow me down, but for her it works. And she can do, maybe pictures in a bunch of drafts at this moment in time when her little ones are in bed or, watching TV for a little bit, as long as little ones sit, which isn't very long. But she can then do a couple of more things to keep that listing process and that working process going. So you just need to learn to work with the time you have. Let me get into, we did organizing. Scheduling a block of time to do your eBay work. Many of you are still working traditional jobs. So it's important to schedule a block of time for shipping. More importantly than listing, is shipping. And not everybody, I will stress, not everybody can do 1-day handling. If you can, that's great. The big if you cannot handle 1-day shipping, whether it be because of working another job, taking care of kids, taking care of elderly parents, what have you. Not everybody can do 1-day handling, and that is fine. You can be, or you can strive to be, a top-rated seller and not do one-day handling. To qualify for top rated, you just have to ship in whatever your stated handling time is. The one-day handling falls into the top rated seller plus, which is going to be having some changes to it, which we won't go into in this video. But, trust me, I have been top rated since the program started. I have never lost it. It is easy for me to do one-day handling. I have gone on vacation and left my eBay store open with extended handling time. And guess what? I come home, I do my shipping. I am still top rated because I have extended my handling time to 5 days, 7 days, and I get it done when I get home. A friend of mine was top rated, lost her top rated seller status because both she and her husband work the eBay business, but they also work full-time jobs. And while they were coming home and getting their shipping ready, they were not getting it out that same day. He would do all the labels and everything today, but not take it to the post office till tomorrow. They thought they were doing one-day handling when indeed they are not. That item needs to be given to the post office within that one day to be considered on-time one-day handling. So she lost her top rated with my suggestion of changing over to 2-day handling. Guess what? In no time at all, she regained her top rated seller status. Also, I want to make this note, which I expressed to her. With top rated seller, you also get a shipping discount on top of the negotiated discounts eBay has for all their sellers. Top rated seller gets an additional discount. And honestly, that shipping discount usually amounts to more than the top rated plus 10% off a final value fee discount. So I again stress, if you cannot handle the one-day handling, change your settings to 2 days or even 3-day handling, and it will work. Not everybody is looking for overnight delivery of their items. And as long as you are shipping within your stated handling time, you will be fine. Let's move on to listing. I did mention mobile listing. It's not for me. Drafts are a good thing. You can do drafts both on mobile or on a computer. My way of listing, we have listing challenges on the Thrifty Adventures. And I've been asked, how in the world do you list 30 or 40 items in a day? The number one thing is I look to list like-kind items. If I have a stack of coffee mugs to list, right now I think I have 10 or 12 that I have processed. I just have to do pictures and I will be listing them. Excuse me. You list one coffee mug, guess what? You can then use the sell similar feature. Try and list, all your coffee mugs at one time. Christmas ornaments, men's shirts, women's shirts, scrub tops, dog toys. The more you can do like kind and just use a sell similar, you are cutting down on the number of things you don't have to change in that listing. If you have 6 men's shirts and they're all button down, short sleeve shirts, guess what? You can list one, do a sell similar, and just change the necessary information for that next shirt. You don't have to choose the category and all that all over again. So it speeds up the listing process. My process of listing is I do it in assembly line fashion. I will bring in bags of items, tubs of items, sit down and create what I call cheat sheets. On my cheat sheets, I will write down all the necessary information for that item. If it's a coffee mug, it'll be, Disney, Winnie the Pooh, balloons, coffee mug. I know what it is. I write my inventory number on my cheat sheet, which also matches a peel-off sticker that I stick to the mugs. But then, I will write down the height of the mug, the diameter of the mug. Sometimes if they say stoneware on the bottom, I'll take information off the bottom. stoneware. If they say microwave or dishwasher safe, I'll include that. If they have the ounces marked on the bottom of mugs, which the majority of mugs do not, I will include that information. I am not one personally who measures the capacity of every single mug. It just slows down the time. In 15 years of full-time selling, I can tell you I probably had one hand's worth of people ask me, how many ounces does that mug hold? Well, guess what? Then I'm happy to bring it up, measure it, and let you know. But to do it for every mug, no. Now you have people that will say, oh yeah, it's absolutely necessary. For me, it's not. But anyway, I write up these cheat sheets. Then my next step is to take all my items that I have written up and take them over to my photo station and take all the photos of all the items I've just written up. Once I have the sheets done and the photos done, guess what? I can list anytime, anywhere, any place I want to be working. I can list from my table. I can list from my couch watching TV. I can list from my backyard letting my dogs run around. You know, it is absolutely a system that works for me. And I will go into the story on why I started this. I used to have, you know, every single thing in front of me, measuring it up as I go along, which I have now found. I've tried doing that again. It slows me down tremendously. Excuse me. If I have everything in front of me that I need for the items, I list 1, 2, 3, you know, quickly, quickly, quickly. The reason I started doing this is traveling up to our family property up in rural Wisconsin on a farm in the middle of nowhere. I started out taking tubs of small items with me to work on while I was out there, taking my camera, taking, you know, everything I need, tape measure, you name it, it all went with me. And then doing the work from out there. But of course, then I like to go sourcing while I was out there. So these tubs I was taking with me were taking up valuable space of room I could have to bring stuff home with me. So I decided one night before we were leaving for a trip, I'm just going to grab a notebook, write down all the information that I know I need to list these items, take their pictures real quick, and I'm set to go. And actually, back in those days, I had to work with a program called TurboLister, which some of you have been around with eBay for a while will probably be familiar or have heard of TurboLister. But with TurboLister, I was able to create listings while not being online. And then I would drive 5 miles into town to the library and upload my listings. I would either go in the library or I found the sweet spot on where to park outside the library and access their Wi-Fi. So I could sit in the car and upload. I can go inside and upload. But it worked for me, and these cheat sheets worked for me. Fast forward a couple of years, I met a dear friend of mine, Lynn Drowley, who is known on eBay as the Queen of Auctions. Compared to Lynn, I am this big of a seller. Lynn currently has about 13,000, yes, 13,000 listings on eBay. And guess what? Lynn uses the same system I do, with the exception of she has developed her listing sheets, her iSell sheets as she calls them, along with notebooks. She sells them to sellers just like you and me, and that is the system she uses. Lynn uses the system she used to go when her son was in grammar school or high school. He was very involved in baseball. Guess what? Lynn would take all her iSell sheets to the baseball game and sit and list while her son was playing baseball. So it is a handy system. It works. I've taken stuff on vacation with me to work a quiet time on vacation. So, you know, give it a try. See if it'll help you. If not, try drafts. Laura is a big supporter of drafts. Drafts work for her. Being the mom of 2 little kids, she needs to work in the free minutes that she has. So you need to develop a system that definitely works for you. And let's see, that leads us to research. Research can be a big death pit. Excuse me. You can get lost in doing research, and we have all done it, especially being new sellers. Do not spend tons and tons and tons of time researching. The best thing to do is get yourself an old-fashioned egg timer or the kitchen timer where you turn the dial and it goes and ding at the end, or even use a timer on your smartphone and limit your time per item of doing research. I do not research each and every item that I buy or that I sell. You just know the more you do, the more experience you have, you kind of know where to set your prices on things. There are, for instance, coffee mugs. There are very few coffee mugs I research. I am spending anywhere from dimes and quarters to maybe $1 on a coffee mug. I will list, unless I feel a gut feeling that, gee, this one is really unique. I will list the majority of my coffee mugs at $19.98 with the best offer. And I am happy to take a best offer anywhere from $10 to $15 and even higher. But I do shoot, I will not sell a coffee mug unless it is one I have had forever and ever and ever. Will not go below $10. That is my minimum price for a coffee mug. So, do not spend a lot of time. If you have a unique, rare, antique, collectible item that, could possibly, well, I guess you wouldn't know possibly how much it would be worth until you research, but, your average items really don't need to be researched or researched a lot. If you want, pull that item up on eBay, look at current listings, look at sold listings, and base your, put your price kind of in the middle. You don't want to be the low guy. You really don't want to be the high guy. Yeah, that's my advice on research. It can be a time sucker. The other tool I use is WorthPoint, and I usually use WorthPoint at least once a day. If I can't find something on eBay, or even if I can, I will quickly look on WorthPoint to see where history shows that items should be priced at. eBay only goes back 90 days, WorthPoint goes back years. So especially if you're not finding something on eBay, WorthPoint is a great tool to use. And in fact, I think we're going to be having a presentation on Thrifty Adventures from WorthPoint in the very near future. Just remember, eBay selling is work. If you want it as a job, you have to treat it as a job. However, you don't have to work 9 to 5 every day. You can take time off. You can go to the beach today. You can go to the zoo tomorrow. Just make up that, sometimes when I take a day off, I won't sit down to do any listings until maybe 10 o'clock at night. But you know what? That's okay, because that's why I do this. Yeah, to be successful, it is fun. It's interesting, but remember, it is work, and you need to put the work into it. And it will be as successful as you put the effort into. If you're putting no effort into your eBay business, guess what? Don't complain that you're not getting sales, that things are slow. You need to work the system. If you're into social media, which I don't do a whole heck of a lot on it, I need to learn to do more, but you need to limit yourself on social media. Facebook, good heavens, is a big time sucker. I mean, I am guilty of it too. Oh, you click on this, you click on that, and next thing you know, 3 hours have gone by and I haven't done a thing. So I definitely limit myself to Facebook. I limit myself to stupid Candy Crush. Why I ever started playing that game again, I have no idea, but I have. That is my break time. When I am listing, I have to get up and remember to move. When you're sitting and listing, remember to move. But limit your other things. That's my break time. That's my 15 minutes break I would have if I was at a regular job. And try and multitask. And by multitasking, I mean when you're doing laundry, as your laundry is going, sit down and work on a few of your eBay things, whether it is listing, you can do a few mobile listings while you're doing your laundry. You can do your write-ups or your pictures while you're doing your laundry. Another time saver is cooking. I prepare several meals ahead of time. I choose a day to do cooking, and I will cook 3 or 4 different types of meals in one day so that I can just stick them in the freezer, stick them in the fridge. That is done for the week, and guess what? Tomorrow I can concentrate on working. When it comes to mealtime, all I have to do is pull it out. I don't have to stop and devote 2 hours of my time to cooking a meal. So it's little things like that. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions or you think I'm full of hooey, just comment. I will be posting this to the group. But this is the way I do things. I've been full-time for 15 years. I am a silver level power seller. So, top rated plus since day one of the program, have never lost it. So while I don't profess myself to be an expert, I kind of do know what I'm talking about a little bit here. So, and I hope to help each one of you succeed and make your eBay business what you want it to be. Whether it's fun selling for fun money, part-time, or helping you make that jump from working a 9 to 5 to wanting to be your own boss, to have the flexibility that we all do. We are here to help. So hopefully you've learned something from this video, and I will talk with you all soon. Bye-bye.